Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Okay, so the portion that will come for your midsem is till this method, till graphical method. Okay, so I'd like to ask if you still have any doubt related to this method, because if this is final, then only I'll proceed to your simplex method, which I am planning to take. I can start now, or I can start in the next class, and we can clear if you have anything related to linear programming unit 3. If you have any concerns so far in this, otherwise I'll proceed, no issues. Okay, before that, since yesterday I wasn't able to take your class, is it fine if I take it on Saturday? That doubt clearing session on Saturday? Hello, you people able to hear me? Okay, one approval I've got. Others?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yasmin, you have to, like, you want to take the class, or it is fine?
Ma'am, no class on Saturday.
See, next week I am not sure if we can have a class, proper class. Is Monday 4:30 fine? Saturday morning session, because you have EduEdge in the afternoon, right?
Yes, ma'am. We have
EduEdge you have,
EduEdge from 10 to 1.
you have 10 to 1. Okay. And so Saturday after 3 only it is possible. So I don't think so it is feasible for everyone. Okay, I don't want to extend it at 3. So Monday 4:30 fine for you?
Yes, ma'am.
You sure, like Monday 4:30 you don't have any other class ka any submission or anything like that? Okay. So we'll keep Monday 4:30 for
Ma'am,
your
or
class
Monday
only.
library session you can take it.
Let me check if I have it free. When is your library hour?
After lunch, 1:30 to 2:30.
1:30 to 2:30. Okay, let me check my timetable. I've all once taken your class, library class, right? If I'm remembering
Yes, ma'am.
clearly. Okay, then that is a good one. Monday 4:30, sorry, 1:30, library hour. Fine? That is the best.
Okay, ma'am.
So for 1 BCom I request the CR to put it across, because I am taking few classes and I have taken different timings. So if your CR can tell it to me, like put a WhatsApp message or mail it to me, the time. Okay. Now, coming back to Unit 3, since I'll have only 1 day to clear your doubts, I am sticking it for Unit 1 and Unit 2. So if you have anything regarding Unit 3, you can ask me right now, as I am not planning to take the new topic. If you don't have any queries, I will take this only and we'll do few more questions. Okay? But if you have any doubts, let me know. No doubts, everything is clear in formulation, graphical method, no doubt anywhere? Yeah,
Excuse me, ma'am. A small
yes.
doubt. Ma'am, when we find the constraints and after finding the constraints, we put random values in the equation to find the feasible region.
Hmm.
So, ma'am, how to decide that it is under the line means
Okay, fine.
in the plus zone or plus minus zone, that thing.
Okay. One thing that I'd like to tell, in this particular scenario, the LPP formulation, we take obviously x1, x2 greater than 0, right? One thing is this, that your x1 and x2 are positive values, right? So
Yes, ma'am.
The feasible region that you should cover is only in the first quadrant. So this is your first quadrant, right? Where you get both the positive. Second quadrant, one is positive, other one is negative. Here, both are negative. Here, right? We all know this. So it is only first region that you have to stick to when you are trying to check the feasible region. One thing, first thing first. Then once again, I'll start with how are we finding the feasible region. So let me pick this one. Your first equation is this, x1 plus x2 equal to 20, okay? This line, the particular line is giving me x1 plus x2 is equal to 20. Now, either below or above the line is the one which is satisfying the constraint that you have, which is less than or equal to 20. Okay, now what is the procedure to find the feasible region? You have to take any point which is not on the line. So this is my first line, you can see, right? You have to take any point. You can take from here, you can take from here, you can take this, any point you have to take and check whether it is satisfying this or not. And as I said, the easiest method to do so is taking the origin. If the line is not crossing the origin, take this as your point. So this is my origin, 0, 0, put it here. 0 plus 0 is equal to 0. Is it satisfying? Is 0 less than or equal to 20?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
it is satisfying. Now I can check, like it is clear. This is my region. This is below the line, which is satisfying. Now, just for an explanation fact, I'll take another point. Now it is clearly these are 10, 10, 20, 20. So I have some 5, 5. If you can see, definitely 5, 5 is here somewhere, right? Below the line only. Check for that. 5 plus 5 is 10, which is again satisfying it. Take some point outside the line. Let me take 40, 10. Above the line. This is 40, 10. Check for it. 40 plus 10, which is 50, which is not less than 20. So that is what I am saying. Any point you take in any region will satisfy the inequality, right? So here, as I had checked for origin, you take any point, this portion will be satisfying the inequality, and beyond the line, this much here, from here. This is the line, na? Whole line. And any point above it won't satisfy. It goes beyond also, but since I only have to stick to first quadrant, I am taking only this much. Clear till this part? Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now next line. Next line is 2x1 plus 5x2 is less than equal to 80. So 2x1 plus 5x2 equal to 80 is my line. That whatever point I am taking is equal to 80. If I put it in the equation, it will give me equality. I have to check for the inequality which is less than or equal to. Again, you can take origin because your line is not crossing the origin. You clearly you know that origin is lying below the line. So check for it. Is it satisfying? 2x1 plus x2 less than equal to 80. Is 0 satisfying that? It is. Right? So my feasible region becomes the whole thing. Right? Not the above portion. You understood how are we taking the feasible region?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, like if I have started only, I'll repeat it once again. This line, the third constraint, my third constraint is implying equality. That means it doesn't have regions. It have all those points. The only points that are satisfying is the points lying on the line. Right? Clear? Because we don't have less than or greater than this value. So whatever it is on the line itself. You don't have a region for this particular constraint. It is a line. your ax plus by is equal to c is a line, right? Now, all the three equations are satisfying only this one point, which is 0, 16. That is why your answer is 0, 16. Okay. Anything else? Any other doubt? Only
No, ma'am. Thank you.
only the situations like, okay, this I cannot wait. I'll take it from the book itself. Give me a minute. Only when you have such lines. Okay. See, the first equation is passing through the origin, right? The first equation is passing through the origin. Therefore, you have to take some other point. That some other point, you should have clearly defined point. See, here I can see 3, 1 is definitely below the line. And let's say 2, 3 here is above the line. You can check any of the point, and whichever region is satisfying, that you will be covering, right? Clear? Any other doubt? Anybody? No doubt regarding the concept. So I'll start with, like, I'll give you another question to do. Solve it right now. Practice it. Okay. Give you a word problem. Formulate and tell me what are the equations and then solve. First, after doing. Yeah. Readable, right? You able to read the question? Okay, Harshita. Do this question. Formulate the equation and type it in the chat box. Read the question carefully, Srinivasa. Read it properly. Okay, anybody has tried the equation? That's also not correct. A sick patient has been advised by his doctor that his diet must contain, his diet must contain at least 4,000 units of vitamin, 50 units of minerals, and 1,400 units of calories. So clearly these are your constraints, that at least these many units of vitamins, minerals, and calories one must have. Yeah, that's correct. Who has objective function? Vanchika, that's right. Yes, Kamya, the constraints are correct. Right. So now you have to formulate what will you maximize or minimize. You don't have to maximize the calories, vitamins, and everything. What you have to do is you have to minimize the cost so that the sufficient amount of calories, vitamins, and minerals you intake, but with a minimum cost. So what will be it? What are my x1 and x2? Let me know this first. What have you taken as x1 and x2 or x and y? What have you taken as x and y? And one more thing, this graphical method is only for two variables. So if you are getting some understanding of x, y, and z, then that is completely wrong. Okay. So tell me did you take it as x and what did you take as y?
Ma'am, food 1 and food 2.
The quantity of food 1, the units of food 1, and unit of food 2. Like that you will write. Okay. Fine. So your objective function becomes to minimize the cost. So if I have 1 unit is costing rupees 4, how much will x1 cost? It will cost you 4 into x1. And similarly, if 1 unit of x2 food, 1 unit of food 2 costs rupees 3, then x2 units will cost you 3x2. So you have to minimize the cost. Know what just happened here? Okay, anyways. So this is it. Next, now tell me the constraints. Only 1 or 2 has responded. Others? What are the constraints? Constraints on the quantity of vitamins, quantity of minerals, and quantity of calories that both the food is giving you. So one patient must have at least 4,000. What do we mean by at least? Why people are coming and going? What is happening here? What is at least? You have to have minimum of 4,000. Yes, Vanshika?
I'm greater than equal to.
Greater than or equal to. Why? Because you have minimum of 4,000. Above it, you can have anything. So, how much is my F1 providing? 1 unit of F1 is providing 200 units of vitamins. So, 200 units into X1 plus 100 units into X2 should be greater than or equal to 4,000. At least 4,000 units of vitamins. It can go beyond 4,000. Similarly, your other two. What are these? 1 unit of mineral from X1 and 2 units from X2 is greater than or equal to 50. Similarly, 40 X1 plus 40 X2 will be greater than or equal to 1400. Right? Now these are your constraints. Definitely the units, the quantities cannot be negative. So definitely you have x1 and x2 greater than or equal to 0. You have to point this in your papers if it comes, otherwise you will lose 1 mark for this. Because your LPP formulation states these 3 things should be there. Objective function should be there, all the constraints should be there, and non-negativity condition should be there. Fine. Yeah, this can be reduced to 4x1 plus 4x2 is greater than or equal to 140. Absolutely. Okay. So continue, solve it and tell me what is the answer. Understood everyone? Formulation has been understood by everyone. Please respond. This is just for practice. The regions that you might get is already been covered. So that won't be an issue. Is formulation clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. This plot points, right? Correct. Plot it and tell me the final answer you tell me. Yeah, that's right, Vanshika. Feasible region that you are getting is unbounded. So now what you'll do, what is the next step? What will be the next step? Type in the chat box or speak up.
Ma'am,
When
we'll find minimum.
if it is an unbounded region, what are the points that how will you take the points? Before that, you have to take two random values of z and check. You remember the question that we had done when we have got unbounded region? I'll show you. Got stuck. See, here you got an unbounded region. What did you take? You took two arbitrary values of z. Similarly, in this also you had an unbounded region. You had took two values of z and then you plotted. So now what you will do, you take two random values for z and plot the graph for the same. Others, did you also get an unbounded region? Yes, what did you get? Did people get the answer? I'll share the graph that we'll get. So after plotting, I think plotting and everything is fine for you, I believe. So this is the plot
Yes,
that you are getting. Yeah. Now, if you are fine, you will check that the feasible region is the shaded region that is shown here, which is unbounded.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am, it's not bound.
Yeah. Then what you will do? You have an unbounded feasible region. Then what is the next step? You take two random values for Z. If I was, I would have taken, yeah, because 4 and 3, right? 4 and 3. So I must have taken 12 and 24, right? Then you plot the lines. If you can see, Z equal to 24 is this line and Z is equal to 48 is this line. They have taken 24 and 48. Now, what was the condition? What will you check? Whether your Z is always crossing a feasible region or not. So obviously all these Z lines are parallel. So you will be having something like, okay, red is, this is fine. Your Z will always be like this. Like this. You will be getting Z always like parallel lines. So clearly there are few values of Z which are not passing all these lines. All these lines that I have taken are not passing the feasible region. That means since it is not always crossing the feasible region, that means that you have one particular answer. You remember that if there is no such case, if it is always crossing the feasible region, then you won't be having any solution. But since this is not the case, you have a solution. Now what you will see? Tell me if you remember. Now what you will do? After checking for Z, you got to know. Give me a second, people. Okay, after checking for Z, you got to know that your minimum Z is not always like decreasing Z. Decreasing Z is not always crossing the feasible region, right? So what does that imply? This implies your solution exists. Now what you will be doing if your solution is existing? What you are doing? You will check for the lower bounds. Lower bounds are A, they have marked, B, C and D. And again, this pen stopped working. A, B, C and D. Now check the plot points and give the solution. B, D. Now what are all the points and check where it is minimizing. No, we have to minimize it. Check what will be the minimum value of all the four. What are the points? Tell me first that. What all are the points A, B, C and D?
A is 40, 0.
1 sec. A is 40,
0,
0,
40. 0, 40.
0, 40. B, what is B? D is
5, 30.
sorry, 5, 30. Okay.
I'm saying for B.
Ma'am, B is lying between 5 and 10.
So, no, this is not the way you will have to check. You check the two intersecting lines, the first equation and third equation. check from that. Tell me what is your B, C. Okay, able. Mark, give me attendance. Able.
Present, ma'am.
Yeah, when you thought I am asking you a question, that's why
No.
you were silent.
No, ma'am.
Abhay,
Present, ma'am.
Abhinav,
Present, ma'am.
Adarsh,
Present, ma'am.
Aditya,
Present, ma'am.
Ananya,
Present, ma'am.
Ankit,
Present, ma'am.
Ansh, Apurva,
Present, ma'am.
Arjun,
Present, ma'am.
Arka, Arshan,
Present, ma'am.
Debosidha,
Present, ma'am.
Dhruv,
Present, ma'am.
Divya,
Present, ma'am.
Devansh, sorry, Ekant,
My name is Ekant.
sorry, David,
Present, ma'am.
Gurjas, Haril,
Present, ma'am.
Haripriya,
Present, ma'am.
Harishankar,
Present, ma'am.
Harshita,
Present, ma'am.
Hisham,
Present, ma'am.
Krishnakant,
Present, ma'am.
Kushagra, Love,
Present, ma'am.
Vasanda, Rishin,
Present, ma'am.
Asif,
Present, ma'am.
Misha, Manit,
Present, ma'am.
Nandana,
Present, ma'am.
Nitya, Srinivasa,
Present, ma'am.
Prashita. Did Nitya? Okay, Nitya present. Okay, fine. Prashita,
Present, ma'am.
Prince,
Present, ma'am.
Priyanshu,
Present, ma'am.
Ghanshyam, Ritik,
Present, ma'am.
Ritika,
Present, ma'am.
Rohan,
Present, ma'am.
Rohit, Saran,
Present, ma'am.
Sanskriti,
Present, ma'am.
Sarthak,
Present, ma'am.
Real,
Present, ma'am.
Shruti Manjari,
Present, ma'am.
Shruti Yadav, Shubhangi, Shuchita,
Present, ma'am.
Siddhi, Sucheta. What happened, everyone? Absent? Sucheta,
Present,
Suhani,
ma'am.
Suhani Gulati,
Present, ma'am.
Suhani Jain,
Present, ma'am.
Suraj, Surja, Ryan,
Present, ma'am.
Tanay,
Present, ma'am.
Tanmay,
Present, ma'am.
Tiger,
Present, ma'am.
Samya,
Present, ma'am.
Vaibhav,
Present, ma'am.
Vanshika,
Present, ma'am.
Yash,
Present, ma'am.
Yasmin,
Present, ma'am.
Yuvan,
Present, ma'am.
Rohit, Swayam, Malhotra, Aryan Gupta. Aryan, what happened today? So much tired, everyone? 14 absentees. Arka, Gurjas, Kushagra, Misha.
Present.
Okay. Who else? Ghansham, Rohit, Shruti Yadav, Shubhangi, Siddhi, Suraj, Surja, Rohit, Swayam and Aryan. So Kushagra is present. Okay. Again. Arka, Gurjas, Misha, Ghansham, Rohit, Shruti Yadav, Shubhangi, Siddhi, Suraj, Surja, Rohit, Swayam and Aryan. Fine. Now one is B is 5,30. How about C? And which is, what are the values of Z? Come on people, we took almost one whole hour. Tell me. So lazy everyone is today. What is the value of C?
20,15.
20,15.
Yeah, 20,15. So what are the values of Z that we are getting for all these values? Quick, let's finish it.
For A, 120. For B, 110. For C, 125. For D, 200.
Yeah, I'm so sorry that it just went. I'll open it once. Tell me again, please. Okay, I didn't share.
For A,
Yes. Sorry.
yeah, for A, it's 120.
Okay.
For B, it's 110.
Okay.
For C, 125. For D, it's 200.
Okay. And we had cost, which we have to minimize. So tell me, what is the answer?
B 5,30.
B 5,30 is your answer. I hope everyone has at least understood if they are not trying. I don't know. I feel from you people that you are very lazy today. Okay. So anyways, these are the concepts. And since nobody asked any doubt, I feel unit 3 is completely fine for you. Next, the Monday library hour I'll take for your doubt clearing session. So yeah, thank you everyone for joining. Good day. You can leave.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.